It's time for Soldier On with the 10th Support Group Command Team.
Good morning. It's MC2 Michael Eckelbecker here, your host of the Morning Launch. And that's right, Soldier On segment is starting now. So we're here with Colonel Chris Paone. How you doing today, sir?
Awesome. Ohio gozaimasu. It's great to be back. I feel like I say that often, but this is it's really terrific. We've got my spouse, Megan, here. There's two people, I think, a collective four that complement the way I look. That's my kids, Command Sergeant Major Haynes, and my beautiful spouse Megan. So we're glad that she's here, and she'll be talking a little bit about what's going on in the spouse space. So thanks again, Mike.
Yeah, Megan, welcome. It's great to have you in.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Great to meet you. So,
yes,
sir, give me a quick wave tops of all the stuff we're going to be chatting about today.
Yeah, right on. So I think with Meg here on the net, she will talk a little bit about some of the activities that she's been supporting on Kadena with the Kadena officers' spouse team, KOSC, the committee that she's a part of now, and we'll be talking about lots of different activities that even as we navigate our way through the COVID environment, that spouses are certainly a part of or can be, and supportive inclusion and lots of different activities. And maybe we'll touch a little bit about the latest on COVID up front, and certainly celebrate all the good things that are going on between the Army and the Joint Services. All
right, looking forward to it. We're going to take a quick music break first, then when we get back, we'll do that COVID update, and then we'll get started with the show. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Okay, good morning. So let's kick things off with our typical fashion. Let's talk about the COVID updates and how things are going on the Army side.
Yeah, thanks again. So I think first off, I want to give a shout out to our partners at the United States Naval Hospital Okinawa and the 18th Wing Medical Group. Outstanding team. Their leadership has done a tremendous job of keeping our joint community continually informed of the latest medical guidance, and their teams have been invaluable ensuring vaccines are readily available to SOFA personnel across the island, and now many, many more eligible partners, people, our teams are eligible in receiving the vaccine. So that is terrific news. Certainly that's part of how my command team and I feel that, today to the majority of our Army team is fully vaccinated, and that even more of our team members have voluntarily accepted at least one dose of the COVID shot. And this all sort of contributes to the growing rate, of course, of inoculations, and it's a part of why we've been able to roll back some of the previously implemented protective measures to now allow fully vaccinated personnel to, and I think there's two broad categories here, safely take advantage of increased off-base liberties and go maskless in certain instances. So while the fundamentals are in place and we remind our leaders who are reminding their teammates, there's goodness to still adhering to those fundamentals that have kept us safe and supportive, strengthening our fence lines. Last week, the United States Naval Hospital Okinawa also announced the Pfizer vaccine is now available to patients ages 12 to 17. So our leadership team remains hopeful our community is nearing the light at the end of the tunnel. That said, we can't forget that COVID remains a threat both on and off base. Just the other day, if not yesterday, we're still recording the highest number of daily cases since the pandemic began off post. And that we're in the middle of another state of emergency. So I think a lot of momentum, a lot of goodness, but also still a condition that we want to certainly be aware of and continue our offensive, the vaccine and defensive measures.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's important to remember that with the rise in cases off base and the state of emergency, while we are still able to go out and enjoy our liberty, there are some things you've got to keep in mind. We talked about it off air right before we went live, but it's so important to wear our masks when we're enjoying liberty off base, because while vaccinated personnel, studies are showing that vaccinated personnel aren't capable of, or at least not likely to, spread the virus, it's just a way of showing our our local neighbors and our partners that we're in the fight with them. We want this to be over for them just as bad as we wanted it to be over for us, and as bad as we continue to want it to be over for us. As we're not quite to the end of the tunnel yet. The light's getting a little bit brighter, but not until it won't really be until off-base vaccinations are more prominent that we're really seeing those big decreases. So the best thing that we can do is just continue to remind our partners and our neighbors that we're in the fight with them, and we want to get back to life as normal just as badly as they do.
Yeah, 100%. And I think you nailed it. And the most salient point there is, continuing to look out for our host nation counterparts who we interact with daily. So, and we're doing that. Thanks so much for those comments.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to talk to Megan a little bit about resources and upcoming events for spouses, so don't go anywhere. All right, Megan, thank you so much for coming in today again. I really appreciate it. It's great to meet you, great to have you in here, and to get to talk to you about some stuff going on for the spouses. So tell me a little bit about what exactly it is that you do as the president of the Kadena Officer Spouses Club.
Yes, thanks so much, Michael. It's great to be here. So I am the incoming president for the Kadena Officer Spouses Club. And just elected in May and June, inducted in June. And so we'll be getting together, starting really ramping up our activities for the club in August when the PCS season is kind of coming to a lull.
Right.
Excuse me. But we are, at our core, our mission is to help members build lasting bonds, curate a sense of community, especially during their time in Okinawa. But obviously the military world is so small that you just never know who you're going to keep in touch with and where you all could land. And so, over the years. So it's really great to just create those long-lasting bonds. We are a nonprofit organization, and we give back to the community in multiple ways. But I think our biggest contribution is towards scholarships. We gave just over around $40,000 in scholarships this year to juniors and seniors in high school, as well as military spouses. So if you have a rising junior and senior that is looking to go to a higher education institute, doesn't have to be a four-year college. It can be a trade school or community college or something like that. They can apply for scholarships, and as well as military spouses. So if your spouse is seeking higher education, they can also apply. So, but back to the club itself, we have a lot of subgroups within the club. We've got a book club, a gourmet food group that all facilitate friendship and community building. So those are, the fundamentals to our core. We also have the Kadena Gift Corner. And if you haven't been, I suggest you go.
Oh, Megan, please! I've been. I've got pieces from the Kadena Gift Corner all over my house.
That's terrific news. Well, thank you for shopping, and you also give back when you buy from the Kadena Gift Corner. So. This is the Kadena Gift Corner is located right across from the BX in the commissary, so very convenient when you're running in just to get a quick couple things. We have a wide selection of furniture, home decor, one-of-a-kind Oki gifts. We have a few local vendors here too, which is really nice. And the best part about our store is that 100% of our proceeds goes back into the community. So like I just mentioned, the scholarships and other charitable donations and so forth. So our hours of operation are Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And every day, and those days we open at 10 a.m. Our next shipment that's coming up is Bali. We still have pieces from our Vietnam shipment that was superb. And that happened just a couple of weeks ago. So Bali is coming up, and it's going to be great. The stuff is just totally Bali, right? It's a little boho. It's a little chic. It's, it's got its own cool vibe. So we're excited about it. And the Gift Corner team is always looking to procure items from other countries. So, we have Vietnam, Thailand, Bali. We are actually going to be going to mainland Japan and to see if we can, kind of curate some items from there. So, and bring those down to Okinawa. So we're excited about that opportunity. We also give to the American Works and Welfare Association, also known as AWWA. This is a committee comprised of representatives from all the spouses groups, spouse organizations. So the Marine Officer Spouses Club, the Okinawa Enlisted Spouses Club, the Navy Spouses Club, and we all work together as a joint community to donate funds to Japanese and American charities that are focused on women and child welfare. And when that is really cool. We actually had a meeting yesterday, and the amount of money that we are pouring back into the community is really outstanding. It's like 6 figures.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it
Congratulations.
is. It's really terrific. So we're excited about that. The last president, T.C. Clapper, has done just an amazing job in guiding the club through the pandemic and what they've been able to do throughout to keep spouses connected is really remarkable. That whole executive board and the member board has just done a tremendous job. So round of applause to them. And I'm looking forward to this, to the board for 21 to 22. It's going to be exciting. We're very energetic and we've got some good things going on. So, membership is available for all officers across the island. There's other officers' clubs, but you don't just have to live on Kadena. And you don't have to be just an Air Force spouse. You can be an Army spouse like
Clearly,
myself.
yeah.
Like myself, Marine spouse or a Navy spouse. We are. I think that's one of the wonderful things about our club is that we're such a diverse and inclusive organization. So that's really great. We also accept spouses who are on the civilian side from GS7 and up. So if there's a civilian spouse who wants to get connected in a different way than what they're doing, then they can certainly join our group. So we are, again, just because we're the Kadena Officer Spouses Club doesn't mean that you have to be a part of the Air Force or reside on Kadena. You can find more about our club, on our Facebook page, which is Kadena Officers Spouses Club Facebook. And then you can also read more about us through the Kadena Gift Corner, which is on Facebook, Instagram, and those are the only 2 social media channels that I know of. So who knows? Maybe we have TikTok coming, and I just don't know.
And actually,
be with the cool kids.
We've got the Kadena Gift Corner coming in a couple of weeks. I think early June, maybe next week even.
Oh,
my
great!
calendar pulled up in front of me. Yeah.
Oh, terrific!
Yeah.
Yay.
So might have a little sneak peek about some of those Bali items. So keep an eye on our Facebook page too.
Yes, that's right. That'd be great.
So, do you have any information about Enlisted Spouses Club?
I do, and they also have a new president, and her name is Jill. They are island-wide, so you don't have to. It's not a certain affiliation with a base or anything. So anyone can join the Okinawa Enlisted Spouses Club. They are a nonprofit organization as well, and we work hand in hand with them on any number of philanthropic initiatives in our joint and local communities. They also run the thrift shop on Kadena, and they're always accepting new members as well. To join them, stop by the OESC thrift store, which is located near Gate 3. It's kind of a roundabout way to get there, but there's some curvy roads, and it's on your right-hand side.
If you download the Kadena Connect app, it's a much easier way. I think it's got directions to kind of help you get there. Because I had a tough time getting there the first time I had to drop off some items. And they also have some great drop-off times and stuff like that. So, or you could, to also become a member, you could go to the Rocker Enlisted Club, and you can find them on Facebook. Got it.
I know everyone doesn't live on Facebook, but I mean, it's just like, the central point.
Easy, yeah.
It is. It's a central point. So that is the OESC. And so, I think all the clubs have new boards coming in, new presidents. And so we're ready to kick off a great year.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And we've got another club to talk about, too. Tell me a little bit about the Okinawa International Women's Club.
Yeah, so OIWC, the Okinawa International Women's Club, it's a great organization that involves Americans and the Japanese, and it's an opportunity for foreigners, us, to learn about Japanese culture and learn about the Japanese way of life. So it's a great opportunity for spouses to connect as well. It's a nonprofit made up of SOFA members and women from Okinawa. So, like I said, we get to do a cultural exchange. We do fundraising and charity events, and the group meets monthly to participate in cultural exchanges such as cooking classes, island tours, themed lunches. We haven't obviously been able to get together at all this year, but certainly are looking forward to when we're not in a state of emergency and when we're, able to freely get together. So that should be hopefully,
awesome. Hopefully soon, yeah.
Hopefully.
All right, great. We're going to take a quick music break now. We're going to get a outstanding performer. We're going to do things a little bit differently this month, it looks like. Oh. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, so usually this is the time of the show where we recognize a soldier's accomplishment, someone who's been doing an outstanding job over at Tent Support Group. But this month we're going to do things a little bit differently. And since we're talking about spouse volunteers, we've got an outstanding spouse volunteer to talk about. So, Megan, do you want to tell us a little bit about your volunteer?
Yeah, and so what I'll sort of hijack this one from Meg as excited as she is to talk about Miss Hawes. You're right, and great intro as you typically lead us through the next segment. And keeping with the theme of spouse programs and volunteerism in our community, we would like to recognize some of the amazing contributions from our spouse volunteers. And on the Army side, and we'll pull in, I know, Angela here in just a minute or so. The Army, I think, only works because of the strength and commitment demonstrated by the families of our soldiers. And in many segments in the past, this is our 10th month of the Soldier On show. We talk a lot about how spouses, children, parents, and other significant people impact our soldiers' lives, and today's discussion and our guest is no different. And so as tough as being the family member of a soldier is, we are extremely grateful to those who contribute their time and effort as volunteers who build stronger Army communities. And for Angela, who is a proud spouse of a soldier in the 247th Military Police Detachment, she has done so much to pull the team down there together in support of not just the detachment, but the group as a whole. And beyond that, she's an active volunteer with the Okinawa Stray Pet Rescue since 2018 and has served as the organization's president since 2020. And so that's pretty significant in so much as we've got our spouses and our dependents in some terrific leadership positions, and that's great to hear. She also volunteers weekly with the Girl Scouts on Kadena. So great voice, certainly a great teammate, and we're just proud, I think, to host her on the show as a quick shout-out.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's bring her on. Angela, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
Good, doing really well. Thanks for joining us today on the show. So, Colonel mentioned that you've been working with the Okinawa American Stray Pet Rescue since 2018. So how long have you actually been on Okinawa?
Since about 7 weeks before I started working with the rescue. So
wow, you hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Okay. So where are you from originally?
Kentucky.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about some other volunteer endeavors that you've done since being on Okinawa.
I also work with the Girl Scouts here on Kadena.
Mm-hmm.
We do, like he said, we do weekly meetings, get the girls involved in the activities. They've also learned about through Okinawa Pet Rescue. So, yeah.
All right. So do you have any advice? We're in peak PCS season right now, so we've got a lot of new service members, new spouses here on Okinawa. Do you have any advice for any newcomers who might be interested in getting started with volunteering?
Yeah, just reach out. Go to your local communities. I know I found OSPR through the Air Force Readiness Center, I think it was. A wealth of knowledge and information when it comes to volunteer opportunities.
Got it. Great advice. All right. Well, thank you so much, Angela. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And Megan, do you want to say anything while we've got her on the line?
Hey, Angela, it's Meg Paone. Thank you so much for your hard work and dedication to the organizations, the animals, and the girls that you lead. It is remarkable. Excuse me. It's remarkable that you find the time to put your energies into all those things and continue to support your soldiers. So bravo to you. Thank you so much for all you do. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah.
Yes, sounds good.
All right, Angela, we're going to let you go because I know that some phones don't have unlimited minutes. I don't want to wrap
Thanks,
your phone
Angela.
bill. Have a great day.
You too, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
All right, Meg, so you've got some other volunteers that you want to highlight today as well, right?
I do. That's correct. Thanks for bringing that in. Yes, we are excited to highlight a few of the Army spouses and volunteers who we have seen enrich the lives of our soldiers and our communities. Two of those, right off the bat, are Sandy Diaz and Nikki Eccles. Both are spouses of soldiers in our 11 ADA unit and have been an invaluable part of our Army community. In addition to the service and support they've provided to their unit, both Sandy and Nikki have contributed their time and energies to the KOSC Executive Board and the Kadena Gift Corner. It's not surprising that Sandy, along with 6 other spouses, was recently recognized with the Molly Pitcher Award, which is bestowed by the Air Defense Artillery Association to women who have significantly contributed to the improvement of the field artillery community. And it's an awesome recognition by their leadership and peers that they received this award. So we're really, Chris and I were able to go to their award ceremony, and it was an outstanding event. So congratulations to all them. So Sandy and Nikki and all those spouses, we really appreciate their work.
What a great group.
Yeah,
I'm constantly amazed by the volunteers out here on Okinawa. Active duty or spouses. It's incredible to hear what people are doing with their free time to give back to the community and how much money is raised for different charities and things like that. And it blows my mind to think that people are so selfless with their time and their energy.
Absolutely,
Yes.
And it's a big communication campaign for us to make sure that updates and the word gets out and reaches our family members beyond the soldiers. And they're an important part of that.
So while volunteering is a very important aspect of spouse life here on Okinawa, I know that for a lot of spouses it can be a little bit intimidating to go out and just get started on an activity like that, especially when you don't really know anyone. So there are a lot of other ways for you to connect with local spouses that we're going to talk about in just a little bit. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we're back, and we've got Meg Paone here. She's a key spouse for Team Army Okinawa. So tell me a little bit about some resources and upcoming events that spouses should be aware of that are going on in Torii Station.
Yeah, we've got some great stuff happening. So one resource that we're really excited to offer spouses now is a new program called Spouse Connect. And Spouse Connect is offered through the Army Community Service Division on Torii Station. It's a 2-day program designed to help spouses, whether they just moved here and are brand spanking new, or if they've been here for a long, hot Okinawa minute, over a year, maybe a little less, like myself, but to help them connect with resources and other spouses on Okinawa. So the first class, or the first seminar, will be offered June 14th and 15th and is open to spouses of soldiers, civilians, or contractors assigned to the U.S. Army Okinawa. Some of the topics covered in the course will be religious support services, housing, employment on Okinawa, sponsorship training. Oh, for some reason, that's a hard word to say this morning. MWR happenings and school services. And a lot of other things will be happening. There's a potential to have a traditional Japanese cooking class, and also go over some conversational Japanese and greetings. So, I think that's one of the things people worry about the most when they find out they're coming to Okinawa is like, how am I going to communicate?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, hats off to the garrison team who's putting on a terrific lineup. This, in particular, this seminar that's really focused on the well-being of soldiers and their families.
Yes.
That's a top priority for all of us.
Yep, absolutely. And so that seminar, again, June 14th and 15th, and people, spouses, can sign up or request more information through the U.S. Army Garrison Okinawa, USAG Okinawa Army Community Services Facebook page. That's a mouthful, I know. But USAG Okinawa Army Community Services Facebook page, or by contacting Torii MWR directly. The phone number is 8198-962-4357, or you can look up the MWR site at torii.armymwr.com.
And of course, they're on Facebook.
Of course, they're on Facebook. Yeah. So I hope we see a huge turnout. I'm really excited to be a part of the seminar. We've got, I think one of the biggest highlights is that we're going to be incorporating more spouses doing the facilitating and moderating versus just, someone else facilitating it.
Sure.
So it's going to be more spouse focused, which I think is terrific.
And if the spouses can't make the 2-day event, I know you'll talk about this, but there's still so many other opportunities for them to make connections and build community here.
Absolutely, yes. And we're really excited about another program. Thank you, Chris. That's happening. It's the Spouse Roundtable. And this is a monthly event for military spouses by military spouses. So each month's meeting will be facilitated by a spouse in our Army community and will focus on a specific topic related to military spouses in Okinawa or in general, actually, such as finding employment on Okinawa, filling those resume gaps, how to become a freelancer, and, anything else that a spouse might want to talk about, vent about. We are a safe community, so I hope spouses will come out and talk with us. Our next class will be in July. We'll post that via all the social media channels,
right.
But people can look for it, the next class in July. So that's happening, and
these are all terrific, I think, for us, by us, as you described events, and it's an invitation for spouses who've all got different backgrounds to come together and be a part of a terrific discussion. So really well done to the community, and Meg certainly being a part of it and continuing to pull in more of our Army spouses across the island.
Yeah. And I think one of the most awesome things is that we all come from different backgrounds and experiences. So, we can share those experiences and lessons learned. So I look forward to really kicking those off in July.
Yeah, there are so many great communities out here on Okinawa. No matter what you're interested in, there's something for you out there. And having a big community like this of the Okinawa military spouses is a great way to kind of spread your roots and get to learn the island really quickly.
Yep, I agree.
All right, well, we're going to take another quick break. When we get back, we're going to take a look at some upcoming events on Torii Station that you're not going to want to miss, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, it's just about that time to wrap up this edition of the Soldier On segment. But before we do, we've got some awesome events coming up for you to kick off your summer just right.
Right on.
Yep.
So let's talk about those.
Yeah. And thanks again for, in the middle of that break, just facilitating, I thought, a terrific special edition of the Newlywed Game. I realized I know quite a bit about my spouse, and so and that's part of this discussion. So thanks for that.
No problem.
Back to Meg.
Yes, so we kicking off Memorial Day weekend and this summer in a grand way. Torii Station has a couple of great things happening. So on May 29th, there is the grand reopening of the Waterslide at Torrey Beach, and this was under construction for several months. Due to damage from one of the previous typhoons. So it's taken a while to reconstruct it and get it back to working properly. And so we are thrilled to be able to open it back up to families this Saturday. It's It's going to be a huge day. You can buy packages, family passes, and so forth. So we will be out there because I'm super excited about the Waterslide.
Yeah. So, it's a pretty awesome slide. If you haven't been out there before. And from what I heard, it's been over 2 years since it was last fully open. Because every time it was close to getting open, something else would happen and I had to shut it down again. So it's very exciting to see it finally get some use.
Yeah, and there's a splash pad, and Torii Beach is just fabulous in itself. We've got the umbrellas and the chairs and everything out there.
And now it's just one more thing.
It is. Yeah. It's just icing on the cake. So we're excited about that. And we've got a few other things. Chris, can you talk about those?
Yeah, so there is plenty of beautiful space down there. And hats off to the Garrison team. So persistent in putting this quality project together and then seeing it through. On top of that, the Torrey Station Outdoor Recreation Team has their Rec Blast campaign going on from May 29th through to, I think it's June 26th. They're celebrating, get this, their 50th anniversary.
Yay!
So in addition to the Waterslide reopening, Outdoor Rec is hosting several family-friendly activities such as archery classes and kayaking programs from now, as I mentioned, until the end of June. And one of the other sort of programs, I just visited the library yesterday to research maybe putting together a command reading program. They have so many resources there, but I'll speak about one in particular this morning, and that's from June 11th through to July 31st. The Torrey Station Library is hosting their summer reading program. And so while 11 June is the last day of the school for kids, it's the first day of the library's summer-long reading program. They've got crafts to go along, craft packages to go along with the program. And it's available to students and adults alike. I was kind of looking at some of the crafts and thought, these are certainly things I can get into with the kids and with Meg and have a good time probably incorporating some of the great, terrific books.
And the summer reading program is such an awesome program, DoD-wide, because it's specifically targeted for kids because of the summer slide. During the summer when the kids aren't doing reading anything, tend to forget a lot of the information. But it's also totally accessible for adults. They have adult categories for prizes and things like that. And the summer reading program last year is actually what got me started reading again. And since last year, I've finished well over a dozen books, I think, mostly audiobooks. But even still, I hadn't really been reading at all since high school. And to put over a dozen books off my shelf has been pretty awesome for me.
Yeah, and so if you just sign up for the Army MWR library site or get your library card, it opens up so many unique opportunities for research and reading, to include the Overdrive program, which you can download, and there's so many titles available. I can go on, but thanks for giving us just a few minutes to talk about some of those highlights.
Yeah, absolutely. And anything else that you want to say before we close this up today?
So I think as we head into the long weekend, I always want to take the opportunity to remind our Army and Joint community to take time to contemplate the real reason we observe, in this case, Memorial Day, National Day of Awareness and solemn reverence, and a day for us to honor the military men and women who gave their lives in the defense of our nation to our ideals, freedom, and liberties. So I think, as we enjoy time off with family and friends, would continue to encourage, as other leaders do in your formations, to take a moment to remember our fellow soldiers and their selfless sacrifice. And on top of that, as much as we talked about families today, a special thanks to our Army families and our dependents who we care so much about.
Absolutely. All right, Meg, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, so since we're full into PCS season, and excuse me, I have I'm saying goodbye or farewell to a number of families. On behalf of the team here from 10th Support Group, I want to thank all the soldiers and families that we've had the opportunity to work with here, and I appreciate their sacrifice and service, and wish them the best of luck on their next chapter. And we are certainly excited to welcome the families and team members that are arriving to Okinawa to begin their island adventure. So, everything's bittersweet, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Our military life is full of beginnings and endings. So,
yeah. No kidding.
All
All
right.
right. Well, that's about all the time we have.
Thank
Thank you
you.
both very much
Yes.
for coming in today.
Thank you.